Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first 2026 Health Equity Chats podcast. Today, we will be building up on our previous episode where we explore the themes of youth voices in public health and how important it is to have youth voices in our program planning with our special guest star, Alyssa Howard. Please see our official YouTube page to check out that previous episode. I am our host for today, Grisel Riveros, with the Health Equity team at the Health District. And then today we are joined by a super awesome guest star from our Health District's Youth Advisory Program, also known by the name of S.P.A.R.K, which stands for Students Promoting Awareness, Responsibility, and Knowledge. And one of our members here will be able to go over kind of the details of their S.P.A.R.K application, as well as give their really valuable insight into different public health issues. So I'll let our guest star for today introduce himself.
Hi, thank you so much, Grisel, for having me again. This is a wonderful opportunity. So my name is Jadon Hang. I get the opportunity to work with S.P.A.R.K, as Grisel said. I am a junior at Sierra Vista High School. And yeah, I'm just really interested in public health and what community means.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jadon, for your introduction for today. And let's go ahead and jump straight into our questions regarding the Youth Advisory Program.
Absolutely.
So you can tell us a little bit about the process of applying to the Youth Advisory Program and then just how you were able to find out about it too.
Absolutely. So when I first found out about it, it was through an email from my HOSA advisor. So each school, or my school, has a HOSA chapter, which stands for Health Occupation Students of America. And so my HOSA advisor, he emailed all members of HOSA in our chapter and said, hey, there's this great opportunity at the Southern Nevada Health District. You guys should really look into it. Now, first I thought about it and I was like, okay, but I forgot about it. And then Nevada HOSA had an Instagram post. And then so I was like, yeah, I'm doing this. I looked into it and I was really inspired by the mission and the impact that the vision was giving to us. In terms of the application process, I believe we had to provide a couple supplemental questions. So it's to see, how we think, give you guys a perspective of how we perceive public health during that time and how we want to impact our community. So yeah, just a couple supplemental questions to really see how we think.
All right. Thank you so much, Jadon, for giving us your perspective on that application process. And then super quickly, I'll just go over the minimum requirements that you can find on our official webpage. Again, you can access this through the SNHD Health Equity webpage on the subsection that has the Youth Advisory Council listed, as well as our official government jobs for SNHD, which will be linked down below in the description. As far as for the minimum qualifications, residents do have to be here in Clark County with our students, and it's between the ages of 14 to 17, or students entering their sophomore or junior year. And of course, attend a Clark County zoned school with an approved HOSA chapter that Jadon was able to kind of clarify a little bit and give the official definition. The students will be serving for one academic year, which begins in August of 2026 and then does end in May of 2027. And we do ask that the students be available for the designated meetings, which can, of course, be either online or in person. And then, of course, parents or guardians do have to consent for applicants under the age of 18. And then the link for the 2026 through the 2027 YAC Advisory Council is currently open, and it still will be accepting applications all the way up till April 16th of 2026, with the deadline of 4:30 p.m. Pacific time. Again, this information will be available in the description below. Now, Jadon, let's jump into some additional questions for you. You ready?
Yes.
So for our second question, what initially drew you to the YAC program, and what are some skills or experiences that you were hoping to learn while you were filling out the YAC application?
Absolutely, yeah. So as a kid, I've always wanted to go into the medical field. And as I was just, searching online, I saw a major of public health and I was like, what is that? What even is that? But when I saw this application, I saw it was a chance to really broaden my horizons, find cause I want to go into the medical field, but I'm not sure what career yet. So this was like an opportunity to really like open my eyes, come out to the community. I wasn't sure what public health meant when I was coming into the program, but I feel like after this program, it really, again, like it really opened my eyes to what YAC has to offer.
Thank you so much for your response, Jadon. Right? It's super important to be able to see all the other available jobs that are just not only focused in the medical sphere, but all the public health ones as well. And then as far as for our third question, why are you interested in public health in general?
Absolutely. Again, the medical field that I want experience in, but also, as you said in the last question, the skills. Growing up, I just had like a community that supported me in Southern Nevada. So I wanted an opportunity to give back and learn about the community in, Southern Nevada. So I feel like this was an opportunity to take it, so I was like, let's do it. Let's take it. So yeah.
Oh, awesome. And then while you were doing your application and you were reading through just the requirements on the official page, what were you expecting of the program before you went into it?
I was expecting it to be very lecture heavy. Other programs that I've done was pretty lecture focused, not much hands-on, which I was okay with. I was ready. I got my notebook. I was like, let's write. But, once I dived into what the program has, I'm so grateful that it was more hands-on. Grizel is one of my like partners in crime, I guess you could say. But, the people in just the Southern Nevada Health District is so welcoming and kind. I wasn't really expecting that, but once you hop in, you'll see it and it will change you.
Yeah, thank you so much for elaborating. Would you be able to just kind of give us a few examples of the different experiences for the hands-on portion that you were discussing?
Absolutely. So sometimes with the S.P.A.R.K YAC meetings, there's virtual and there's also in person. So the virtual meetings, we also do, icebreakers to get to know each other. And we do have a guided notebook. Those are activities that, make your brain exercises. We also do group work, which is really important. I feel like as young people, we're the next generation. We need to build our skills, teamwork, working with people, especially everything's so virtual now. So I'm glad that, this has provided us a platform to do that. But yeah, it was really just, that skill set, like just having to meet people and talk to people. And let me talk to you about the in-person. We did like in-person activities like throwing a ball and answering a question. We wrote on posters, all those kind of fun stuff really made this experience wonderful.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much, Jadon, for being able to elaborate more on that portion. Now, what skill set do you think you have built so far just throughout your process of the YAC?
Absolutely. So one of my terms that I've been thinking about recently on the impact I've done during this experience was grassroots organizing. I feel like the project we will talk about more later, but it really enabled us to go out to the community and talk to people. And, it was such like an eye-opening experience again, because I would never expect myself to go and talk to so many people about public health. Initially when our project got introduced, I was like, wait, I need to go out there and talk to people. That's kind of scary. But once you get out there in the field, it's really just heartwarming to see the impact that you can really do as one person.
Yeah, it's right. It's super important to be able to go out to the community, as you were discussing, to be able to have that face-to-face contact, right?
Exactly.
And then what would you say you're most proud of so far within your work in the YAC?
That's a tough question because I feel like there's so many things that this program has, allowed us to do. I'd say, again, we'll talk more about it later, I believe, in the questions, but just the outreach that we have done. So part of the project, is to talk to students about, tobacco and, the harmful effects, and to advocate for a tobacco-free campus. I think the proudest thing that has happened to me is to be more open. I was shy initially, but then now going out and talking to over 200 people alone is just eye-opening. And it's like, wow, like you did that.
Yeah, so, yeah. It's a really good accomplishment, right? To be able to go out and speak to folks not only about public health in general, but also, these issues that are impacting youth. Which really brings us into our next question. What are some public health topics that you feel are most relevant to young people today?
Yes, so I attend a public high school. So one of the most prominent issues that I have faced myself and talking to friends in my community is vaping. Many students, they start vaping from as early on to middle school, and even some of my friends do vape. But it is important to have those resources for, students who are currently vaping or before. It's important to prevent that from happening or support them if they are doing it to, stop. But yeah, it's just like vaping and tobacco. It has a history of being so prominent, and it's still prominent. So it's important to fight that and have support that we can provide at the health district. So
Thank you so much, Jadon, for your insight on those youth topics. I know vaping it's a pretty big issue, right? That especially is impacting youth, and I think it's important that you're able to discuss this as well as your fellow compatriots within the YAC program. Again, we'll be touching upon this a little bit later into the podcast, but just giving us a little brief taste of what's really to come with the rest of it. And then what trends do you see among youth that adults should understand better? Again, as coming from your position as a young person, what do you wish that adults would be able to understand within your demographic more?
Yes, that's a good question, actually. I feel like behavioral wise, many adults, and, adults were once teens before, but I feel like everyone's is like their first time living. Obviously, there's I wish adults knew more about like mental health, being educated about mental health. That's a big public health topic that we have covered before. But just and I feel like us doing this right now, we're the next generation, right? So we're educated about this, and our kids in the future could be, educated and so forth. But it's just the knowledge of public health, mental health disorders, how you can support those people who have currently affected by the mental health disorders. But yeah, and also I wanted to bring up earlier, especially living in Southern Nevada, we live in the Mojave Desert, right? So I wanted to talk about heat waves, just heat education in general, like knowing what to do when we're in a heat wave. I feel like the health district has done such a good job at that, because even before this project or this program, I have seen resources, cooling stations. So that is so important, like living locally here.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Jadon, for touching upon that. Our campaign with the Beat the Heat campaign. It is currently active again, since we do live in an area where it gets very hot very quickly. So that are resources that we also have online as well. So thank you so much, Jadon, for touching upon that. And then also elaborating on just really what you wish adults would be able to understand, right? I think you put it perfectly where you said adults but also teens once.
Exactly.
I think that's sometimes we tend to forget it, but again, being reminded, it's always a good thing. So that way we could apply youth voices to the current issues that they are facing. Now, Jadon, how would you say that youth can get involved in public health outside of the YAC?
Involvement. And that's a big thing for us. I'd say look out for opportunities. Go look for volunteer opportunities, maybe at the food pantry, help pass out food, even just looking around locally. Definitely volunteering. Like before this program, I heavily volunteered. So that's how you can help like public health wise, and even like volunteering is a big opportunity. But yeah, I'd say volunteering. Also being educated. I feel like just being educated and peer influence. If you know much about public health and you teach other people around you good habits, that's another way to be involved in public health, because that is so important. And to the viewers, you yourself, you have an impact in this field, whether it be talking to your family, your friends, just your community. That's impact in public health. Anyone can do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Having those open discussions, right, with people, I think that's super important for us to have. Now, Jadon, let's talk a little bit about the project that we were previewing with CSN and then with the combination of our chronic disease department. Would you tell me what that project is and then how that's going for you?
Yes. Okay. This is my favorite question now, I guess. So the project is called CSN, The Time Is Now. It is basically working with the tobacco prevention team here at the Southern Nevada Health District. So currently, the College of Southern Nevada, or CSN, is not a tobacco-free campus, which means that students can vape and smoke anywhere on the campus, right? And so what we're trying to do, myself and other fellows here, we are doing a photo campaign. Now, each of us, we have a board that says, CSN, The Time Is Now, which so I support a tobacco-free campus. We have the student hold the sign, take a photo of it. So it's basically a photo campaign. Now those photos, it will be all grouped up into a collage that will be revealed at CSN. I believe the proposed date is April 28th. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yes, but throughout, just it seems simple, like a photo collage, but every time we go up to a student, we give them a card, an informational card about what this project is about, right? And this is a demographic that is so important because these high school students, they are potential students who are going to go to the College of Southern Nevada. So it's important to advocate for this. And even when going up to them, you don't just like get the photo, right? You talk to them what the impact has. And a lot of them are actually really surprised. They're like, what? It isn't a tobacco-free campus? I thought every higher education institution is tobacco-free. So a lot of them are surprised and they do support it. So yeah, that's basically our project in a nutshell. There's so much more details into it, but it is such, an interesting opportunity to get out there. And I hope that the viewers will see what we have done soon.
All right, thank you so much, Jadon. And then what would you say was kind of the highlight of your experience of working with the CSN project?
Okay, so not everything sounds good, right? And I feel like this project has also provided me rejection therapy. That's a good way. I see it as a good way to, character build. That's what I'm talking about when you participate in this program. That's one of the skills that you can learn. Not everyone said yes to the project. I had a couple people said, I smoke, I vape, I don't care about this project, and that's okay. Other fellows and I talked about it, and we still took the time to talk to them. And, if they didn't, comply or just understand, that's okay. You're always going to have those people, and you're going to have those people that are like, no. But that's okay. So I feel like those character buildings, that's like the highlight of this project.
All right, awesome, Jadon. Thank you so much for your responses. And then going into kind of our last portion here with the podcast, what would you tell someone who is thinking about applying to the Youth Advisory Council?
Consider it, do it. Initially, or just personal wise, like I always rely on someone else's experience before I apply to anything. Now, this year, this was the first year for the Southern Nevada Health District S.P.A.R.K program. So I was initially afraid, but I realized, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Don't let it go. You're not going to be in high school, being able to have this opportunity again. So just to do it, apply. You never know. The worst thing they could say is no, you're not in, right? So have the measurable impact that you can do and do it.
Thank you so much, Jadon. And then again, that application link is currently active until April 16th at 4:30 p.m. Eastern or Pacific time, And then for this other question that we have, what might be some tips you would like to share with potential applicants, and how would they be able to make the most of the program?
Honestly, in my application, I was very honest with what I was passionate about. And I always believe in the saying, honesty is key. Now, saying how you really see your perspective, just being vocal about your perspective, being honest on how you see, public health in Southern Nevada, the questions, it really shows, the health district who you are. And I think that is so important during the selection process. So don't stress, say what you want to say, and just be yourself in the application and let yourself shine.
Awesome. Thank you so much for those really great tips, Jadon. I know our viewers are really going to appreciate those. And then for our final two questions here, what did the YAC program mean to you?
Wow. Honestly, yes. Okay. What does it mean to me? I mean, I will honestly remember this for the rest of my life because I was able to make an impact on our community. And it means so much to me. It means love, experience, meeting new people. Like some people I want to highlight is Crystal. She is also working with us in this project, Crystal Montgomery. Malcolm Allo, he is the senior tobacco coordinator here. And Cassandra Moraz, she also works with us in the project. Just meeting so many people, and even through other programs too, because in the first semester, you get to learn about what the health district is. We don't just do, health cards and, birth certificates and inspections. There's so much more that we really provide the community. And other people to mention, like Carmen Hua, just seeing how the health district works all together and meeting new people, all those bunched up. It's so memorable to to me, and I'll remember it forever.
Thank you so much, Jadon. And then for our final question here, how has your experience with the Youth Advisory Program changed your view on public health?
Yes. So again, when I was walking into this building for orientation, I had no clue what the health district did, except I knew that they gave like A grades or D grades to restaurants. I knew that they did birth certificates, death certificates. So it really just opened my eye on how broad public health is. I mean, there is so much, and it's honestly, to me, it's never ending. Even though I'm still in the program, there's things that I learn every day, whether it's me doing like the project in person or me hearing a lecture by Grizel. There's so much to learn. And I learned that public health is never ending, and there's so many opportunities for people who want to get into this field.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jane, for your responses. And that just about wraps up our podcast for today. So we were really able to discuss the Youth Advisory Council as well as those minimum requirements, right? So they are available, again, on our SNHD Health Equity main page on the side ribbon where it goes into the Youth Advisory Council, also known as the S.P.A.R.K. And that is available on our main webpage from the SNHD. So thank you so much for Jadon coming in today and discussing, again, those issues that are impacting youth, as well as your own experience with the Youth Advisory Council. We really appreciated coming in and, again, telling our viewers about how they can apply and how it really builds up their various skill sets. So if everyone could, please remember that we are accepting applications for April 16th, again, 4:30 p.m. Pacific time. Everyone, stay healthy, Clark County.